Good morning children. Saira. Welcome to our value education period. Before I start, I would like to ask you one question. Who are community helpers? Yes, community helpers are people who live and work in our community. Now these community helpers, they ensure that they provide us with all kind of necessary requirements at our doorstep, and they try to make our life easy and comfortable by providing all kinds of goods and services. Now, who are these community helpers? Yes, we have community helpers like the farmers, the weavers, carpenters, plumbers, teachers, doctors, okay? And what do? They provide us with all necessary services required. For example, you just take a milkman who gives milk at your house every day. Then also when you online order any food, so of course that is also a great service that done by these community helpers. Yes, so that is what. And what do you think, children? Do these community helpers, the work that is done by these community helpers is of the same respect that is done by the white collar people or the educated people? Yes, of course. Every work carries the same dignity. Yes, equal dignity, equal respect, whatever work they do. Because it is because of these community helpers that we are living a healthy and safe life. Yes, so in the present situation, if you see the doctors, the police, yes, nurses, ward boys, all these are the people who are making us stay safe and healthy. So that is what we are going to learn today in our lesson, the dignity of labor. Now what do you understand by dignity of labor? The dignity of labor is the philosophy that all types of jobs are respected equally and no occupation is considered superior, and none of the jobs should be discriminated on any basis. So whether it is an educated person doing any job or an uneducated person doing his job, both the jobs should be equally respected. No job is superior. Okay. So regardless of whether one's occupation involves a physical work or mental work, it is held that the job deserves respect. Yes. So whether you do a physical work or you are doing a mental work, but the job carries equal respect. Yes. When we talk about labor, we usually mean manual work. So when we listen to the word labor, we usually think of manual labor. In many countries, manual labor is looked down upon. So people doing manual work are looked down upon in many of the countries. And what are they called? They are often called as lower class, as distinct from the higher and middle classes, whose white-collared members look down upon the farmer, and yet the so-called middle-class people would be unable to function properly without the labor class. So, see, no work can be carried forward until and unless you have a helping hand, a manual labor. So, without this labor class, we cannot move any of the work forward. What would happen if the garbage were not removed from the streets, parks and other public places? How could our daily food like rice, roti, vegetables, milk, etc. arrive in the markets and shops without the hard work of or hard labor of farmers, agriculturalists and market sellers? So of course all these things would have been impossible without these people. How could rich ladies wear beautiful saris without the strenuous labor of weavers? Of course, we like to wear all beautiful things, but do we ever imagine the work behind this, the hard work that is done by these laborers? Okay, of course, so each and every work is, we are all dependent on each other. Okay, so we could, against this background, it has to be remembered that the contempt of manual labor is incorrect and absurd. Okay, so we should always see to it that both manual labor, physical, mental, both carries equal dignity, equal respect. Okay, so we should not treat as higher class or lower class. Okay, we all are born equally. Now you can see, if the farmers they don't cultivate crops, how are we going to get our necessary requirements, our food? Yes, how is it going to reach to us otherwise? Okay, so all these manual laborers are of equal importance. We live in big storage buildings, luxurious houses, but who is behind all this, constructing all this? Yes, of course, the masons, the laborers. Okay, we can see our Prime Minister PM Modi. So he has also considered that all jobs should be equally respected. So being a Prime Minister, he had started a campaign of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, where he equally participated along with the common people. So we should see to it that we also follow the same principle. The distinction between manual and mental or intellectual work is misleading. Manual labor also requires thought and knowledge. Farmers, carpenters, builders, potters, electricians, etc. also use their intelligence in order to produce high quality products and services. Of course, that is a skill, children. Of the potter has a skill of making pots, carpenters, builders. Everybody is distinct in their characters. That is the intellectual background that everybody has. Okay, so it is not only getting educated and being mentally knowledgeable and strong is not important. Okay, of course, so this skill also we should know. When any work is done honestly, it may rightly be called dignified and worth of respect. In this context, we remember the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who promoted hard labor industry and other normal and handicraft activities. So, of course, it was Mahatma Gandhi. He also promoted hand labor industry. Okay, it was the because he respected each and every work, and on the other hand, also manual or handicraft activities. Then, when we recognize and respect dignity of labor, there will be progress not only in the growth of the individual and society, but in the whole nation. When we respect all the work equally, of course, we will be living peacefully and unitedly in the country. Now, our ancient scriptures consider work as worship. Not only does it mean that all labor, both physical and mental, is full of dignity and nobility, but also means that war should be offered to God. Okay, work should be offered to God. So it is that each and every work should be respected, because work is worship. Yes. So we see, as we have seen, that Mahatma Gandhiji believed a lot in dignity of labor, both in word and deed. Gandhiji preached dignity of labor in the Sabarmati ashram, when the dwellers of the ashram were taught to clean night soil with their own hands. So manual work is in no way inferior to mental work. Okay, that was what he believed in. In the West, there is a servant class. Most people themselves do all their household work. They do not feel embarrassed or have any inferiority complex. And since women are also working outside in offices, etc., the husbands share the household chores. The washing dishes, household chores like washing dishes, ironing clothes, cooking, cleaning floors, etc. The progress of a nation very much depend upon its people's attitude towards manual labor, and therefore we should review our concepts of dignity of labor. So we can see that in some countries, of course, now in India also we find many of us, we believe that equal work is or equal opportunities are provided for both men and women, as they both are working, and so we also share the household chores. But now at this present situation, children, at home also you all must be realizing, when this maid servant doesn't come, and what happens? So we have to do all our household chores on our own. So that is why we should also understand or realize the importance of these manual labors and treat them equally well. So that is what we learned today in our lesson, dignity of labor. Work is worship and respect all work equally. So we shall stop for the day. Thank you, children.